Hello Aquarius, I am here with your March 2021 tarot using the Royal Gilded Tarot. I have done an extensive pre-shuffle off screen just to help save some time. So now let's ask for the messages for Aquarius for the month of March. I do apologize for the delay in getting this out. Normally I like to have things out closer to on time. However, technology problems reign. My device that I recorded on quit on me. So I had to find a new device, learn it, which that does not come naturally to me. I do not learn technology very quickly, and it takes some trial and error in order to get things rolling, and here we are. We have things rolling. So with that said, if you like the reading, please give this a like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, just because I do have some plans now that I have a solid device that I can trust. I do have plans for random readings here and there, whether that is because it's a new moon, because it's a full moon, because we're changing sun signs, because I maybe feel like it. So if you have your notifications on, you will be notified that I've recorded something new and it's been posted. So with that said, with the cosmos, knock on wood, after we had a year of retrogrades last year, we have the entire month of March with no retrogrades of any planet. There are no planets in retrograde at all. So this is a bonus. We also have the first day of spring, or the spring equinox, which happens to also fall on the first day of the astrology new year, which is when the sun moves into the sign of Aries. So that's a little bit more fiery, passionate energy. Speaking of passionate energy, the Lovers card just kind of flew out there. And there are some Cups energy. So this may be a little bit more of an emotional type reading than what I am normally used to doing. And there's an extremely noisy plane flying over my house, which is really odd, especially for this time of night. All right, let's see if there's one more card for you. If not, we'll take off of the bottom of the deck, get that background influencing energy. All right, there we go. There it is. Oh, okay, you've got some really good major arcana here. Despite the fact that the first card may seem a little intimidating, so let's talk about major arcana. Major arcanas are the major players of the reading. These cards have a lot of energy. So whenever you hear major arcana, it means major energy in what that particular card is talking about. So what is playing out in the background for you, Aquarius? The Judgment card. Often described as being Archangel Michael, who is our protector, but the Judgment card is, you could be receiving a judgment if you are involved in a court case. You could be getting a resolution to that. You may be called into action or to start taking action in a particular area in your life, which leads us to the beginning of the reading. And we start off the reading with a card of Scorpio. Like I said, it may seem intimidating, but it's not as nefarious as it looks. We have the Death card. If you watch my daily readings, the Death card has shown up 3 days in a row with 3 different decks, and here it is starting off your reading, Aquarius. Now, we did recently just end having like 6 planets in the sign of Aquarius, as well as the sun has just 2 weeks ago left the sign of Aquarius. And there is an ending of a chapter. This may be feeling much heavier than it actually needs to be. and there's good reason for that. Once we kind of get into the reading here, it'll become much more clear. Now with the Death card, it's the closing of a chapter, it's the ending of a cycle. There is always in the tarot, after death is rebirth. So the ending of a cycle, whatever you were going through, is coming to a close. It's ending, that's it, okay? And you may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the Seven of Cups card. Now the cups talk about feelings. And the Seven of Cups talks about there being a lot of options to the point of feeling overwhelmed or possibly confused. Up next, here's some of the reasons why I am saying whatever this heavy ending has been, it's done. Because we have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a movement card. Swords being air energy, just like you, Aquarius. Things that are playing out in our mind, things that we are thinking about or weigh heavy on our mind. But the Six of Swords is moving from rough water into a calmer time. I'll talk a little bit more about how this all kind of pieces together in just a moment once we get through the rest of the cards. Up next, we have the Three of Cups, which is a reason to celebrate. Cups is a bit of a joyful, more playful feeling. It's a lighter energy. It's like these figures here, they're kind of dancing on air, having a good time. That is how you're going to kind of move through things, is things are getting better. Up next, we have the Queen of Swords. So remember, air energy, talking about things in our mind. The Queen of Swords is feminine energy. It's a little bit softer. She's very intellectual, very witty, very sharp. She can, however, use that sharp tongue to her advantage at the cost of the feelings of others. I don't necessarily get that feeling necessarily from the rest of the cards that are surrounding the Queen of Swords. And the reason why this is the Lovers card. This is Major Arcana. The Lovers is air energy, talks about balance as well as passionate love. It's love. So you are really doing some feeling here, Aquarius, and that is out of the norm for you because you guys, when it comes to the zodiac, are often seen as the ones the least in touch with their feelings. Now, it doesn't mean you don't show them or don't put your heart on your sleeve. The description for Aquarius is just you're not necessarily quite as in tune with your feelings. And that's some of the air energy because you're caught up in your mind, like air signs get. I'm a Gemini, which is an air sign, so I totally understand that mentality or that statement is air signs caught up in our heads. Well, that's where I pretty much live. Up next, we have the Eight of Cups. This is another movement card, and it came out in positioning right underneath the Six of Swords. So again, this is movement, and it's movement away from something that was painful. And as you can see, those cups that are turned upside down, the figure's looking away from it and onto the horizon as to what's next because it's smoother sailing up ahead. And the final card that you got is one of the last of the Major Arcana, which is actually right before Judgment, is the happiest card in the deck. The Sun card. This is fiery, joyful, playful, happy energy. And again, this one came out directly underneath the Three of Cups. So I'm going to do your reading slightly different from the way I've done some of the other ones. And that is using the cards one directly under the other. I normally do it in a left to right, top to bottom, with the card from the bottom of the deck as being what is kind of playing out behind the scenes. So the bottom of the deck, that's not going to change for this reading. You've had a painful ending, and you maybe ended something that really didn't end well. You had to use some harsh words, or you did use harsh words and it ended. This has left you a lot of options, and you're maybe confused about this love situation. And I do, because of all of the cups and the love energy here, I am definitely leaning more towards this being a romantic or love type energy that the majority of you guys with the Aquarius sign are feeling. However, as you move through this and you really start to show yourself a little bit of compassion and some love, you're moving into calmer waters. What was once turbulent and ending and making you not feel so good, you're moving into calmer waters. You're moving away from it. You're leaving those feelings behind. And there is some really joyful, playful energy. And all of what precipitated this change and the ending is you were kind of called to take action and maybe use some harsh words, and you're going over it in your mind over and over. How could you have maybe done things differently? Put that to rest, put it aside, show yourself some love during this time. With the Death card, there is often a period of grief or grieving. Allow yourself to feel those feelings, but know that there is calmer energy coming in. You're moving out of that and away from that energy. And you've got some joy and happiness coming up in your life, and it's going to feel really, really good. That's more towards the end of the month. Right now, you're still moving out of that grieving energy into your options. What could you have done differently? You're moving through that by the time that this is being filmed. I'm sorry it's late. I hate being late. I hate not having things done on time. So you're moving through this confusion phase into the calmer water by the time that you see this. And know by the end of the month, there is going to be some really joyful energy coming your way. So I'm going to leave it here for you, Aquarius, and I will talk to you soon.